Hi, this is Lynn from Liberty Christian Center, trying to deliver the Children's Church message. Greg told me that Lucy called and asked us to turn the heat down in the church since no one's using it. They didn't want to pay for the heat. So I turned it way down in all the rooms and forgot that I still had to shoot the Children's Church video. So I've asked somebody who doesn't mind the cold as much as me. Excuse me, I'm freezing here. To come and help me out, and so she'll be doing the lesson. And then, since she really is not as good with the Bible as the rest of us, I might have to clarify a few points. But and don't forget, keep looking in the background. That's the thing behind me, and you need to find the red lobster. He'll be hiding in the background back there somewhere. And when you find him, you text and say, lobster in the upper right-hand corner, or the lower right-hand corner, or upper left-hand corner, lower left-hand corner. And also say which scene he was in. Was he in the snow? Was he in the jungle? Was he in outer space? I don't think we have an outer space background. But the first person to either text or email in the right answer gets 20, wait a second, it's over here somewhere, 20 veggie bucks. The second person gets 10. My fingers are cold. Everybody else that gives the right answer gets a 5. And even if you give the wrong answer, I will give you 2 for giving me an answer. Oh, come back here, Blanky. So you need to text or email to kids@liberty@gmail.com. That's kids@AT, not the symbol, liberty@gmail.com. And by the timestamp, I'll know who's sent them in first, and keep looking for Mr. Lobster. And in the meantime, I will turn over this lesson to, what was her name? Inga Olga Ausenslissen something or other. But anyway, and hopefully she'll do a good job, because I am going to go crawl under an electric blanket. Guten Tag. I am Inga Olga Ausenslissen. Because Lynn cannot take this cold, I have volunteered to do her lesson for her. But I do not understand it one bit. It makes no sense whatsoever. My brain is just a mush looking at this. Okay, first of all, it's in a book called 2 Kings. But there are many kings in this book. 2 Kings, chapter 5. It's an incredible story, so they say that's what it says in the lesson. I don't know how incredible it is. It makes no sense. So, there was a story about a guy named Naaman. What kind of a name is Naaman? I mean, it's name and Naaman? Oh well, anyway, this story makes no sense. He was a commander of the army, and he was very well respected by all. That's good commander should be. And Naaman was not a follower of God, which is a bad thing. But he commanded the army, and he was Israel's enemy. So why we write a story about Israel's enemy? And call him a good guy. I mean, when he did not follow God. All right, respected, not good. But anyway, so he commanded Israel's enemy army, and he had a terrible disease called leprosy. We do not have much problem with this up in the cold where I am, but I have heard of it, and it is a very, very bad disease where people lose their lives, and it's not something that we would like to have. So that part makes sense. And it was very painful, and he was really suffering, and he was very sad. And he had a young servant girl, and she was from Israel, so she was a believer in God. And here she is serving in the house of the enemy of her nations. And what does this girl do? This, I said, tell you, this will make no sense to me. So she says to him, if you go to the prophet Elijah in my home country, in Israel, he can heal you of this leprosy. Why you want to heal the general of the army that attacked your country, took you prisoner, and made you, I don't understand these people. This makes no sense to me, but this is what it says in 2 Kings, which is stupid because there are lots of kings in this book. Anyway, so he took bags of gold with him and his servants, and he went to see this prophet Elijah, because he figures, if I bribe him enough, then he'll do something about my leprosy. If I give him enough gold, he'll do something about my leprosy. And he's this big, important man. He comes in, and he comes with all his men and his bags of gold and his servants. He goes up to Naaman's house, and Naaman didn't even come out to see him. I got bags of gold at stake here. You go out and you see him. You count the money first. You say, see, is this enough for me to heal the enemy of my people? No, not Naaman. He sends his servant out. And the servant tells Naaman, okay, it's Elijah. Elijah sends his servant out to Naaman. So I mix the names up. The book makes no sense, so I make no sense. And he tells him, go wash in the Jordan River 7 times. First of all, I come from where it's very cold. You don't wash outside. No. What do you want to do? Chip a hole in the ice and then go in the river? So, okay, it's warmer there. I get that. But he's a rich man. They've got baths. They got bathtubs. So why in the world this man going to go wash in this dirty, dirty river? And so Naaman was ticked. I do not blame Naaman. Elisha wouldn't even come out and talk to me. Tells me go to bathe in this dirty, dirty river 7 times. What's that going to do for my leprosy? And he was so mad, he was just going to go home. And the servant said, oh, you came all this long way to see this Elijah person. At least try what he says. So Naaman goes to the river, bad scarf. And he goes and he washes in it. Once, and twice, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6. And by then, he's out of life, boy. His ivory soap is gone, and he's just stuck with muddy river. So, 7th time he washes in this river, and he comes up, and the leprosy is all gone. Incredible. Yes. What is more incredible, why do God heal the enemy of his people? And Naaman, because of this, he now believes in God. So maybe there's a strategy in there somewhere I'm not getting, but still, makes no sense. But God healed him because he obeyed and did what he was told. That's something I understand, obeying and doing what I am told. Though sometimes I don't. And well, that's okay. Don't be like me. Be like Pastor Lynn, afraid of the cold. And maybe she can make some sense out of this crazy story in 2 Kings, which has got so many kings I have not even counted them all. So why do they call it 2 Kings? That's enough for Inga Olga Ausenslissen. I am signing off, and I'm going to go find my husky team and go to where it's nice and cold because it's too hot here. I'm sweating. So this little girl who had been captured and taken away from her home and was a prisoner helped the man who captured and took her away and helped to heal him because she loved God so much she could love even the person who caused her all her problems. And God wants you to love everybody no matter how they treat you. It says in the Bible, be good to your enemies. Be kind to people that don't treat you well. It really says that. So that means even your brothers and sisters and people at school and bullies, you still be kind, be nice to them. And that's the way they'll really know God is real. Because the rest of the world says, You poke me in the eye, I poke you in the eye. You hit me, I hit you. Only God says, you can hit me and I'm going to love you anyway. So let's be more like Jesus and show love and kindness no matter how bad people treat us. And don't forget, if you spotted that lobster, text or email to kids@liberty@gmail.com. That's kids, A-T, not the symbol, @liberty@gmail.com. And be friendly to everybody, love everybody. You'll be surprised how that'll change the way they treat you. And I'm going to go crawl under my electric blanket, and next week I'm going to remember to turn the heat up before I do my lesson.